Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Wayne Veldsman with us. He is a digital marketing and advertising specialist. So welcome to the show, Wayne.
Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Thanks for joining us. We'll dive in. The first question I have for you, Wayne, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, so something pretty cool. I guess right before I got into the digital advertising space, I actually, in college, I went to go study abroad and have an internship in Cape Town, South Africa. And sort of when I got there, I was thinking, I don't know if I needed more experience or I was trying to, obviously I needed some money to be able to live there. But I ended up taking a job in an advertising agency that they told me in the beginning that they weren't going to pay me anything. And I decided, you know what, it's fine. Let's take it just to get that experience. And what actually ended up happening was just because, I wasn't getting paid and I decided to do it for so much just experience, it made me every single day when I came in, just ask every person what I could help with, how I could help provide value to them. It's kind of funny because it was almost in a selfish way, right, to get more experience for me. But because of the amount of value that I was helping provide and the amount that I did, they ended up, just ended up paying me also. They brought me on for a longer period of time. And so I got the experience, got to work in an amazing location, ended up getting paid for it too. So that's awesome. A lot of times if you go into something wholeheartedly and you really try and give value to other people just for that experience, it'll help you out financially in the long term too.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
For sure. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'm in digital marketing. I'm busy. I'm currently partnered in a company called Full Sail Marketing and Touch Above Marketing. We do a lot of digital advertising, and I think something that a lot of people don't understand is really the power of LinkedIn, and also, like I said, like paid advertising on LinkedIn. There's a stat that came out, I think it was HubSpot, a couple weeks ago, actually, that stated that right under 50% of all business-to-business leads are coming through LinkedIn. And I want to say it's about 37% are actually through paid methods of that, too. And so, funny enough, Tyler, we got connected through LinkedIn, and here we are. And so I thought that was kind of the perfect stat to share with you guys. I mean, it's just so relevant every day.
Yes, and I'll chime in there quick that I tell people I actually do not personally do paid advertising on LinkedIn, but just from the free ways of connecting with people and optimizing your profile for search and other organic ways on LinkedIn. I think it's way underutilized. So I keep telling all the people in my network to hop on in there and start connecting because I think it is a very useful tool as well. So,
yeah, it's huge, definitely. And just want to say, if anybody wants to look into more, Social Media Examiner actually does really great pieces on explaining how to properly use LinkedIn. So check that out for sure.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And the next question I have for you, Wayne, is what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm still super early in my career. I'm only 25 now, and I've already been a part of about a dozen startups. And, the most successful one, we grew to about $10,000 a month. This was when I was still a junior in college. And, right now I have a couple other companies going too that I wouldn't consider startups anymore. But the most crucial piece of advice I would say is to just go for it, right? If someone comes to you with an idea, or if you have an idea that sounds fun or sounds interesting, hit the ground running with it. like, don't be so caught up in the nitty gritty or thinking, okay, how is this going to be accepted? Especially early on in life, right? Because you have so much time. First off, it's like, you don't necessarily know which ideas are going to take off, which ones are going to gain traction. And so, I would say try. That's the biggest thing, right? Just try and do. And if you have a cool idea, run with it and, push it until it's successful.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
My younger self, nice. So I very much consider myself still my younger self, but I think it would be something that Gary Vaynerchuk pushes to a lot of people, and it's almost to care less about what other people think about you. Especially the people that you don't ever connect with. Now, social media these days makes everybody so almost like scared to post because they're worried about how many likes or comments they're going to get, or is somebody, who knows, somebody going to talk trash about you behind the scenes. But when you look at it sort of from an outside perspective, it doesn't really matter. And the answer most of the time is no, it doesn't. So that's 100% the advice that I give to my younger self. The advice that I still give to myself today is that really care less about what other people think. And hands down, especially care not at all about, people that don't matter in your life, that don't have an effect, your friends, your loved ones. They have a little bit of impact. And then, mentors, mentees, people you look up to, care what they think, but other people, it doesn't matter at all.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Key to happiness, I think, is, other than the classic, it's like do what you love. I think it's super important to surround yourself with people who make you smile and who make you laugh. We've all heard that thing that's like, you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with most. And, that's great to grow yourself. And that's amazing. But you got to make sure that these people who you're surrounding yourself with too they're positive people. They're fun-loving people. They're going to make you laugh and have a great time. I think that's the key, right? That's what's going to lead to happiness in the long term.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Yeah, I thought this was a really great question, Tyler. So a few months ago, I read a book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Chris Voss is a long-term FBI negotiator. And so the book is somewhat about negotiating, but what it really boils down to for me is it's about listening. Because in every situation in life, things happen like crisis, whatever, just because we're not truly understanding what other people's motives are or what other people are saying. And so check out Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss and really just pay attention to active listening. You can really figure out what people's true motives are and why they're saying what they're saying. You can learn a lot, and it's going to help conflicts from ever arising in the first place. And if it does, then you're going to be able to come up with a solution that's really going to benefit everybody.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Oh, my favorite quote and why? Oh, man, I forgot about this one. To tell you the truth, I don't know if I would have to say I have necessarily a favorite quote. People, I guess, who in general that I listen to a lot. Man, this is just so hard that I'm trying to think about. I've read so many of Tony Robbins's books.
It could be like a mantra.
Gary Vaynerchuk on, but
it could be like a mantra, like a saying. Doesn't have to be direct quote.
Not direct quote. Okay, cool. I guess kind of mantra that I live by is just work hard and do good, right? It's funny. I guess the law of attraction. Funny enough, first time I heard that, kind of just how I was raised. Funny enough, and I just think if you work hard and you do good to other people, and you always have good in your heart. That's kind of right. Those are the sort of the words that I live by. I think it'll eventually pay off. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but definitely in the long term.
Yes, man. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Tyler. So again, my name's Wayne Veldsman. I mean, I'm on all social platforms. The easiest to connect with me is definitely just going to be through LinkedIn. There's not that many Wayne Veldsmans around. So just search me there. You can find me on Facebook. I have a personal page, professional page. And so that'd be great. Reach out anytime. I'd love to help anybody that has a question or business idea or anything like that. Appreciate it, Tyler.
Perfect, man. Appreciate you coming on.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.